it was you who actually defended or did the opening statements for the defense. Was that long been planned na kayo po ang magsasalita para sa depensa ngayong araw?
Eh hindi naman ho talaga natin may pagkakaila na talagang linampaso ho nitong si Attorney Michael Poa, itong si Shell Jokno, dun sa nangyaring oral argument sa impeachment trial nitong si VP Sara kahapon. Pero bago ho natin pag-usapan yan, sa like at sa subscribe, masaya na ho tayo yan at sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community, yung join button nandyan lang ho sa baba. Ayun na nga, viral ho ngayon itong si Attorney Michael Poa, pati yung mga veteranong abogado, yung mga abogadong iga nga nasa gitna pagdating dito sa usapin na to ang tanging narinig ho natin paghanga dito sa mama na to. Palakpakan ho muna natin itong si Atty. Michael Poa. Napakahusay ho. Bago natin panoorin yung interview niya na yan, sumigway na ho muna tayo ng mabilisan dito sa interview niya sa On Point dito kay Ma'am Pinky Web. Huwag na ho natin patagalin to. Rekta na ho tayo sa interview nitong si Atty. Michael Poa. Yung
Defense argued such requests could become a weapon of a fishing expedition. Let's get on point with the defense team spokesperson and who handled the oral arguments earlier, Attorney Michael Poa. He joins us live from the Senate. Attorney Poa, glad to have you finally. Thank you so much for your time and thank you for your patience and waiting to be able to guest there live at the Senate. Salamat po.
Salamat din, Ma'am Pinky, for inviting me. No? It's always a pleasure to talk to you. At magandang gabi sa ating mga kababayan.
Attorney, so as I mentioned a while ago, nag-shift po yung day 6 of the impeachment trial. Mula po dun sa naririnig nating mga allegations of grave threat. Ngayon naman, ang pinag-usapan po ay oral arguments hinggil sa motion ng prosecution, which is to subpoena two things. There were two motions, to subpoena bank records and AMLAC records. And the other one is to subpoena BIR tax records. And this encompasses both the Vice President and her husband, Attorney Mans Carpio. There were opening statements made by both from the prosecution and the defense. Ang una kong tanong, it was you who actually defended or did the opening statements for the defense. Was that long been planned na kayo po ang magsasalita para sa depensa ngayong araw?
Just so since tapos na naman, no? So
maging itong si Ma'am Pinky, parang bumilib din ho ata dito kay Atty. Michael Poa. Palakpakan pa natin sa beses. Pambira, napakahusay naman ho talaga. Mantakin nyo, yung veteranong abogado. Di ba? Napakahusay naman ho talaga. Mantakin nyo ho yun mga kababayan. Shell Jokno, ilalampaso mo sa oral argument. Talagang kahit hindi ka bibilib dito kay Atty. Poa, talagang bibilib ka
I can discuss this. When the presiding officer mentioned that the motions will be tackled through oral arguments, yes, I was tasked to do the oral arguments this time around. No? So, napag-usapan na po namin nung nasabi ng ating presiding officer na kinakailangan mag-oral arguments at napag-usapan ng team na ako yung magiging anchor for today.
Alam ko pong sanay po kayo na maging spokesperson dahil matagal-tagal na rin po namin kayong nakausap. But how was it like defending or putting forward the oral argument against these two motions?
Well, of course, it's a different situation, no? Pagdating sa impeachment court kasi hindi lang po yung mga taong nanroon, hindi lang yung mga senator judges, hindi lang yung mga nasa gallery, but everyone is watching. So obviously, it's a new experience. But pagdating naman sa oral arguments, usual naman po yan sa normal naming trabaho bilang abogado, especially pag may mga application for temporary restraining orders. Usually, yung mga judge sa mga RTC, nagpapa-oral arguments din po. So may experience naman tayo dun. But obviously, this is a totally different experience. And I must say, and I must put on record, that it was also both an honor and a privilege for me, no? Na yung opposing counsel kanina was Attorney Shell Jokno, or Congressman Shell Jokno now, who I really, have the utmost respect for.
And that seemed obvious even to the presiding officer because at some point after the oral arguments, he commended rather both you and Prosecutor Congressman Shell Jokno for malumanay, for being respectful, and a couple of other words he used doon po sa inyong oral arguments between you and
Pati sitong si Ma'am Pinky Webb natataranta din. Ini-interview pa lang niya ho itong si Atty. Michael Poa. Kitang-kita ho na talagang natuwa siya. Doon sa nangyaring sagutan nitong mahusay naman talaga si Shell Jokno, pero yung ipinakitang kahusayan nitong si Atty. Michael Poa ay kakaiba ho talaga.
the prosecutor, sir.
Well, ma'am, kasi ano naman, no? Iba-iba yung styles ng mga lawyers. I think nagkataon lang na malumanay naman talaga si Representative Diokno. Matagal na nating alam yon. And ako, I also have my own manner of delivery. So nagkataon lang na kami yung, kumbaga, nagkatunggali kanina. And hindi naman porket opposing sides kami, dapat magsigawan kami or anything like that. No matter how spirited we are, I think it's very important to show respect to the opposing counsel and to the opposing side. No?
Sana all,
And that's why
nag-show respect sa opposing side. Palakpakan ho natin itong si Atty. Poa. Hoy! Para dito kay ang pangalan doon, yung nakaganyan yung ilong, si Redon. Pakinggan mo to! Pakinggan mo! Wala kasi respeto yung ganyang ilong nun parang kuweba.
and I thank Representative Diokno also for extending the same respect, and I will always have the utmost respect for him.
All right. So let's talk about what happened a while ago. Did you expect, sir, that there will be a decision from the senator judges today after they went on caucus, after the oral arguments coming from the prosecution and the defense? Because there could have been really that possibility that they could have decided on this, whether payagan po o hindi itong dalawang motion ng prosecution.
Opo, to be honest, Ms. Pinky, I was expecting na magkakaroon kami ng decision today. But having said that, we also understand why they need more time. No? Because we only submitted our respective memorandum last Monday. And so, at hindi manipis yung memorandum, no? 30 pages yung sa amin, and I think nasa ganun din yung kabila, around 32 pages yung sa amin. So, definitely, as the senators have to read so many things. So we understand why there's a need for more time. And I'm sure there will be questions that will be asked also on Monday, so to clarify things further. So, okay lang naman po yun. Although, if I may be candid with you, I did expect na magkakaroon na ng desisyon kanina. But kung hindi man, okay din yun para we can really thresh out the issues.
Does that signal to you, though, that they weren't quite decided on just yet? That's why they need to ask questions come Monday or day 7 of the impeachment trial?
Yes, Ms. Pinky, because it's not as straightforward as I think both parties would want it to be straightforward, but it's not straightforward as it is. Of course, there's we were talking about bank documents here, we're talking about tax returns. As I've pointed out, there are laws that prohibit disclosure, but again, there might be arguments for the other side as well. So, without touching upon the merits, of course, we leave that up to the impeachment court. But again, these are not so simple issues. So I do understand why the senator judges would need more time to really look at the law, look at what is involved, and decide in accordance with what they feel is correct.
I'm looking at just possible outcomes of the decision of the senator judges, and I'm just seeing possibly two. Either payagan po nila o hindi nila payagan. But then one comes to mind also, baka there could be a decision on papayagan with certain restrictions. Of course, that will all be happening on Monday. We'll have clarity on that Monday. But if the senator judges, upon a majority, a simple majority vote, says that or agrees to the motion of the prosecution to be able to subpoena the bank records, AMLAC, and BIR tax records of the Vice President and her husband, do you have the liberty to be able to file a motion for reconsideration before the senator judges?
It's a bit unclear, to be honest, Ms. Pinky. I don't think the other day when we tried to ask for reconsideration on a ruling sa isang objection namin, sabi we cannot actually ask for reconsideration. So I'm not quite, to be very candid with you also, because I don't want to say something inaccurate. I'm also not quite sure kung pwede yun, no?
Opo.
Kung pwede at hindi naayon sa amin, syempre, that's one of our options. But kung hindi naman, we'll see first. I think it's too early to say. We'll see first what the decision is.
Yeah.
And once the decision is given, it's something we have to consult our client as well.
I'm just looking at what are the possibilities or the processes that
Oo,
the defense can turn to in the event that the decision is unfavorable to the defense. And likewise, of course, I
Yes.
would ask the same question to the prosecution if it becomes unfavorable to them. So that's not clear. You're saying right now, candidly, you're not sure about that. But what about the possibility, if it's unfavorable to the defense, pwede ho bang isangguni din yan sa Korte Suprema?
Well, first and foremost, it's not clear because under the rules of the impeachment court, hindi clear kung meron kaming pagkakataon para magkaroon ng motion for reconsideration. Obviously, if we argue that the rules of court, rather than the impeachment court, just the regular rules of court would be suppletory, then we will say that we can file an MR or motion for reconsideration. But again, that's why it's not clear. But dun sa question nyo, kung pwedeng isangguni sa Supreme Court, of course, pwede naman po yun. That's always a possibility. But we're not saying that that is something that we're gonna do. We're not also saying that that's something that we're not gonna do because hindi, sa totoo lang po, hindi pa namin napag-uusapan sa defense team yan. No? Kung ano man ang magiging hakbang. And I'm not the only one here. I have a whole team that we need to discuss this thoroughly and of course consult our client. So tingnan po natin. But of course, if the question is if that's an option, that would always be an option.
Let's talk about the points raised during the oral arguments on the two motions filed by the prosecution. By the defense, of course, that was you. You were basically saying, from what I understand, and please correct me if I'm wrong, attorney, sinasabi niyo po na maaari naman pong magsabina. Pero, sinasabi niyo, ang sabina kailangan may definitiveness at relevance. Would that be correct, sir?
Actually, ang sinasabi ko, hindi issue
Hindi
yung
issue ang
power,
subpoena.
Ms. Pinky. Hindi issue na may power ang Senate Impeachment Court na magsubpoena. Pero ang sinasabi ko dito is we have to be mindful of the requisites of a subpoena, a valid subpoena, bago tayo mag-decide kung talagang magsasubpoena tayo o hindi.
That's why ginamit niyo po yung dalawang salita na definitiveness and relevance. Tama po, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. Kasi according to the Supreme Court decision, for a subpoena to be valid, it has to be definite, no? Meaning yung mga nakasulat doon na saklaw ng subpoena ng mga dokumento or whatever it is, dapat particularly described. And then the second requisite is relevance. So dapat may direktang kaugnayan dito sa paglilitis na ginagawa.
All right. We're gonna talk about that a little bit more, but we need to take a very short. So just going back, ang sabi niyo po na hindi naman
Walang break.
issue yung power to subpoena, pero kailangan may dalawang requisite. Kailangan definite at kailangan meron pong relevance. All right. There was also a part, sir, that you were saying that not in the exact words, but you were saying somewhere, somehow, because of what they are asking for, parang something will come out and this becomes a weapon for a fishing expedition. This fishing expedition has come out even during the House Justice Committee hearing. And again, of course, it is coming out now. Again, sir, just, I know, without having to deal with the merits of the case, what exactly do you mean by this, sir?
Yeah, sa akin lang, again, we cannot talk about the merits of the case, no? So, ang sa akin lang kasi, ano bang fishing expedition? Ang fishing expedition is you ask for X number of documents without even knowing what exactly it is, no? That from those documents that will help support your case. Or if that document is even incriminating, that you can use it against the respondent. At if you now parang have an unlimited search of all of these documents spanning so many years without even knowing if something is incriminating, then that is, to us, the definition of a fishing expedition. But again, that is a statement I made earlier. Now, whether or not the impeachment court would find merit in such an argument, then I will leave it up to the impeachment court. And I also don't want to sway public opinion one way or the other. So factual lang po.
Opo. Attorney, doon po sa points naman raised by Prosecutor Chel Diokno, ang sinasabi niya, napakasimple daw ng issue, pero simple daw yung issue, pero napakabigat nito. And he went on to say na bubuksan ba natin ang pinto ng katotohanan o harangin ito? Hindi confidential ang katotohanan. Would you care to respond to that, sir?
Well, I responded to that in the arguments earlier. Accountability is such a big word, but we agree that accountability is really important and that no one is above the law. But as I mentioned earlier, no one, in the same manner, no one also must fall below or must be outside the ambit of the protections given by law. So, fairness lang naman po tayo, no? Meron kasi mga batas na nagsasabing bawal. So, yun ang pinoint out lang natin sa impeachment court. Na while we agree with accountability, hindi naman pwedeng selective tayo na isasantabi natin ang mga batas.
Actually, when I was trying to summarize many parts of what I heard today from both you and Prosecutor Chel Diokno, it was really about one talking about accountability and then the other talking about due process. I guess that was how, I would have summarized or described.
Ganon ho. Wala namang problema yung sa defense basta due process. Yung sa kabila, gusto nila bend the law, no? Kahit na meron ng masagasaang karapatan, basta bend the law. Ganon ang gusto ng mga nasa prosecution.
Both sides arguing for each other. One point that was raised today, and I'm not sure if this will deal into the merits of the case, but nangyari na po kasi ito in the past, and this was brought out today. During the Corona impeachment trial, it appears that these documents were allowed. In other words, documents that pertained to the former Chief Justice, his sal-ins or bank deposits prior to him becoming Chief Justice were allowed by the impeachment court. And if I'm not mistaken, sir, it was Senator Alan Peter Cayetano and even Senator Chis Escudero who agreed on that in the past. If I'm right, sir, my question is this. Does that hold them? Does that mean that their decision in the past should stay consistent with how they should decide on the case of the Vice President? I know that is their decision, but is that a concern for the defense team?
Well, for us, that was an issue that was posed earlier, and again, a question here. So I hope you would, be patient with me. But ang point lang namin dito is, yes, if that happened in the past, that happened in the Corona trial. But there is a Supreme Court decision that came after the Corona trial, and I'm pretty sure the justices were cognizant of whatever happened and transpired in the Corona trial. So then you have those two issues, and that's something that the impeachment court will have to really ponder on and look at.
It's going to be very important, no, Attorney Poa, what the decision of the senator judges will be this coming Monday, after, of course, asking clarificatory questions from both the prosecution and the defense, because this is also, again, in the future, this is something that people will look back into. And again,
Yes.
use hindi ho ba as a basis for whoever gets impeached some other time kung papayagan po ito o hindi. I guess in my mind, I'm just wondering that when a senator judge makes a decision in the past, favoring one way or another, kailangan ho kaya meron kayang magiging batayan para magpalit sila ng isip. But of course, again, that should be directed to the senator judges, and we can't really speak to them right now, or
But
at least during.
But Ms. Pinky, just to, sorry for cutting
Please
you off.
go
But
ahead,
just
sir.
to clarify, you said that both sides, you were summing it up as accountability on one side and then due process on the other side. I think the way to look at it is that our position on the matter is we also believe in accountability, but accountability must be done within the limits of the law and what the law provides. No? So meaning you can achieve and demand accountability while giving due process, no? Hindi naman siya incompatible.
Okay. Rightfully said, sir. So, hindi nyo naman po sinasabi sa madaling salita na hindi kayo sangayon sa accountability. Sangayon kayo sa accountability, pero kailangan within the bounds of law. All right. Thanks for that clarification,
Yes.
sir. Let's talk about the decision then of the prosecution to dispense with some of their witnesses that will form part of grave threat. Well, ang nangyari po kahapon ay sinabi na nga nila that they don't need to call a hostile witness. It's a hostile witness for the prosecution, Attorney Zuleika Lopez. And then meron pa pong isa si Captain Bello and others that were named a while ago. There were 5 that were supposed to be part of the list of witnesses for grave threats that they will dispense of except the NBI director. First, sir, what are your thoughts on that? Malaking tulong ho ba yun para mapabilis din po ang paglilitis?
Oh, I mean, I think we should be very honest, and I've always been very objective and fair when it comes to these matters. We have to give it to the prosecution, no? That obviously must be bilis kasi mababawasan tayo ng witnesses. So, syempre, we can move on to other witnesses, no, in the coming days. As to us, ang impact naman, walang masyadong impact because we've been preparing for all articles, no? So pagdating naman dito, we will just have to shift gears a bit, you know. Of course, mindful that there's still Director Matibag on Tuesday, I believe. But we will have to shift gears and now focus on Article 1, which is confidential funds. But definitely, I guess the next question is, will the defense also do the same when the time comes that it's
Yeah.
our turn to present evidence? And if we find the need, or we find that we no longer need other witnesses, we are also open to doing the same.
But would you have favored na lumabas sana kahapon as a hostile witness si Attorney Zuleika Lopez?
Hindi ko masasabi because hindi namin alam kung anong magiging mga questions ng prosecution on her part, and we were just preparing ourselves for cross-examination to really, you know, get whatever she had to say about that incident, which was obviously the Zoom press conference and whatever happened that night. But kung hindi siya nilabas ngayon, I don't think there's a big impact on us.
Assessment on the past 6 days, Attorney Poa.
To be very objective about it, I think the impeachment court has been very fair. You know, every time that some things happen here and there, they always make sure that both sides, you know, are given the same treatment. Even if there are arguments, I'd like, of course, our viewers to know na normal lang yan sa isang court proceeding, but both the prosecution and the defense are just doing their jobs. So I cannot say anything untoward regarding how the prosecution have been handling handling themselves. They're very, you know, good people, and I suppose that you know, as long as we keep the mutual respect, wala naman tayong magiging problema. And we're hoping, syempre, medyo matagal yung the past few days, no, because there's a need to authenticate documents, etc. And again, there's nothing wrong with what the prosecution did there because on the part of the defense, if it's our turn, mangyayari din yan. So, kailangan talaga ng konting pasensya. But naniniwala ako dun sa sinabi ng ating presiding officer na ganyan talaga yan sa simula, pero pag tumatakbo na yung trial, bumibilis yung mga bagay.
Sir, just for clarity, did the defense agree?
Yung meron sa mga Talyanista at Ensaymada vlogger, yung laway daw ni Atty. Michael Poa. Totoo naman, meron konti, pero hindi naman kagaya nung kay Jinky Luistro na parang page na sa gilid ng bunganga niya, di ba? Yung ginawa ng mga pinklawan at dilawan, yung mga Talyanista Ensaymada, inedit na ho nila. Ginawa ho nilang ginrabi na nila, di ba? Ang hilig talaga mang doktor ng mga picture nito, mga itong mga pakawala ni Marcos Jr.
That the video that was presented was authentic?
Well, I don't think there was such an admission on our part, no? Just for clarity. They had to really authenticate the video itself, no? And then whether it was authenticated or not, we leave it up to, of course, the impeachment court.
Okay. And siguro pagkadating na po ng inyong time para po magpresenta.
But let me clarify, Ms. Pinky, para hindi ako mukhang nambobola dito, 'di ba? As regards the utterance, I don't think sabi ko nga, nagbobolahan na lang tayo if we deny that there was such an utterance. But in terms of the authenticity of the video that is being used and presented in court, of course, that is still subject to the proceedings, no, on authentication.
Okay. Last question, Attorney Poa. Have you spoken to the Vice President, and how does she feel so far about the conduct of the trial and the defense team?
I've spoken to her in the past few days, no? Wala naman akong naririnig na problema. The Vice President's a lawyer, so she understands the proceedings. So okay naman. Ngayon naman, pagdating naman sa nangyari today, hindi ko pa siya honestly nakakausap because medyo tuloy-tuloy tayo and I'm sure she's busy also. Hopefully, by tonight or by tomorrow, makausap ko siya. Gusto ko rin malaman yung insights niya sa nangyari kanina.
Duterte Defense Team spokesperson, Attorney...
Ngayon, palakpakan ho natin itong si Attorney Michael Poa. Napakahusay. Ha? Rekta ho tayo sa kanyang interview pagkatapos ho niya binalagbag itong si Shell Jokno. Yo.
Na-explain naman ni lead prosecutor Luis Rodin po yung kanilang side, so we have to respect that. Pero on the part of the defense, ayaw lang po natin yung mga ganyang manifestation because if there are conclusions in law and conclusions of facts rather, ang nangyayari kasi nakakondition yung publiko, no? Hindi naman, lalo na pag technical yung mga nangyayari, syempre gusto natin may paliwanag sa publiko, pero pag sa ganung paraan, ang pakiramdam po kasi ng defense ay nagkakaroon ng summation ng kaso at dahil doon ay kinokondisyon natin, no, yung publiko at yung mga senator judges kung ano ba talaga yung ina-advocate natin at gusto lang natin maging patas tayo na pag mag-withdraw tayo ng witness, we simply have to see na i-withdraw natin yung witness at siguro that's up to the court to decide po. Hindi na po ako magko-comment tungkol dyan. The Vice President has stated what she felt and whether it's covered by sub judice or not, kaparehas ng mga komento rin ng both prosecution and defense. Yan po ay nasa impeachment court na po to decide.
Sir, doon sa manifestation po kanina ni Lead Counsel Attorney Sheila Sison, bakit po important yung ganung manifestation na kailangan maikli lang po ang mga manifestation before?
Na-explain naman ni lead prosecutor Luis Rodin po yung kanilang side, so we have to respect that. Pero on the part of the defense, ayaw lang po natin yung mga ganyang manifestation because if there are conclusions in law and conclusions of facts rather, ang nangyayari kasi nakakondition yung publiko, no? Hindi naman, lalo na pag technical yung mga nangyayari, syempre gusto natin may paliwanag sa publiko, pero pag sa ganung paraan, ang pakiramdam po kasi ng defense ay nagkakaroon ng summation ng kaso at dahil doon ay kinokondisyon natin, no, yung publiko at yung mga senator judges kung ano ba talaga yung ina-advocate natin at gusto lang natin maging patas tayo na pag mag-withdraw tayo ng witness, we simply have to see na i-withdraw natin yung witness at nasabi naman po ng ating presiding officer na kung kailangan mang i-explain yung reasons because, we also understand the side of lead prosecutor Luis Tro. Maaari naman daw pong i-explain sa mga press con.
Sir, mas marami pang mga witnesses sa withdraw. Article 4, anong meaning yan sa inyo sa defense?
Sa amin naman po, wala. No? That is really the prerogative of the prosecution. Pagdating din ng time ng defense, kami rin po ay baka mag-withdraw ng maraming witnesses depending on how we think our case is going. So sa atin, we will just move on to prepare for Article 1. No? But we have been preparing naman for quite some time. So we just need to shift our attention now to Article 1, but of course without forgetting that Director Matibag will still be called next week.
Sa Article 1, ready na rin ba kayo?
Yes, opo. Lahat naman ng articles, sabi ko nga noon, pagdating sa defense, syempre, hindi natin may iwasan na may mag-anchor for the day, etc. May assigned to do things. Pero lahat kami, no, we're conditioned and our disposition is that each and every lawyer in the defense team should be able to argue and to cross-examine and to stand, no, for the defense on any given day and for any given witness.
Sa horizon ba na papatawag din sa Article 1 si Attorney July Canores?
Sa ngayon, wala pa po kaming na pag-uusapan na ganyan dahil nga yung depensa po kasi matagal pa eh. nandun pa kami sa dulo, no? As far as the prosecution is concerned, I cannot speak for them, but only for the defense, napag-usapan na nga kanina at na-clarify na nga na uunahin munang matapos yung presentation for all articles ng prosecution, tsaka magiging panahon naman ng defense para mag-present ang aming tinatawag na evidence in chief.
Interview kanina si dating NBI Director Jimmy Santiago.
No.
Sinasabi niya na kung sa assassin ang findings nila sa kanilang investigation, may kakayahan dahil may pera at may resources ang Vice President to hire an assassin. In reaction to that.
Well, that's his opinion, but that has to be proven. That has to be proven actually in this impeachment proceeding. So, sir, pasensya na po kayo. I really, it's very difficult for us counsels all.
More on the due process argument earlier, hindi lang masyado kasi limited lang po yung time eh. Why would pagsasabina po ng bank records would violate the due process?
Okay, because unang-una sa lahat, balik ko lang sa nabanggit ko kanina sa oral arguments. No? Pagdating sa pag-issue ng subpoena, you have to look at two things. No? You have to, first is definiteness. Ibig sabihin nun, kailangan particularly describe kung ano yung gusto mong i-subpoena. Pangalawa, it has to be relevant. Ibig sabihin, may kaugnayan o direktang kaugnayan dito sa isinasagawang paglilitis. Ngayon, dating naman sa due process, no, kailangan natin malaman, pwede ba yung mga bagay na sinasubpoena o hindi under our laws. And kung ibabaliwala na lang natin yung mga batas natin, kailangan lang natin mag-issue ng subpoena, then nawawalan ng due process because the respondent has protections under the law. Again, hindi lang po yan sa respondent, it goes for each and every one of us Filipinos. No? Basic naman po yan at sinabi rin po sa Supreme Court decision na aking kinote kanina, that the due process requirement applies, no, in every stage of the proceeding. Ibig sabihin nun, magmula sa pag-file ng impeachment complaint sa House, hanggang dumating ng Committee on Justice, hanggang dumating dito sa paglilitis sa Senado, dapat nire-respeto and na-observe yung due process, no, para naman sa kapakanan ng respondent.
Attorney, nagbawas na ang prosecution ng mga testigo or sa fourth article of impeachment. On your part sa depensa, may mangyayari bang pagbabawas tama dun sa pag-counter ninyo sa mga testigo nila?
Too early to say, sir. Kasi mahaba pa to. Sa dulo pa lang kami. Actually, di ba, mauuna muna ang prosecution. So right now, I don't want to give any definite statement because it's really, really too early to say. It's too early.
Sir, comment lang po doon sa possession ng prosecution na in the Corona case kasi piniyagan yung mga documents that predates his term as Chief Justice, and one of your key arguments in the case also on the aspect of predating po, yung position ni Vice President before siya ma-elect in 2022. Comment lang po on that.
I guess, again, I don't want to get into the merits. I'll just say what I stated. No, I'll refer you to my part of the oral arguments. The Corona impeachment trial was done way before the decision of the Supreme Court in Duterte versus HOR. And anong presumption dyan? That when the Supreme Court decided the decision penned by none other than Senior Associate Justice Marvic Leonin, they were cognizant and they were fully aware of what happened in the Corona trial. And that's why, there are guidelines that are enumerated under the Supreme Court decision. And again, I will refer you to that. You can go ahead and read the decision and you will see the guidelines there.
Constitution course keep on saying, dito naman ay political, hindi ito masyadong technical and legal, kaya dapat manood tayo sa alam mong hihilingin nila para makikigay po yung side naman na gusto nila ipabot sa taong bayan.
Ang kaluwagan ba, ibig sabihin po niyan, ay hindi babaliwala na natin lahat ng batas ng Pilipinas. Hindi naman po siguro tama yan.
Yan ang gusto ko, medyo lumalaban na, di ba? Dapat ganyan ho, kasi dapat kailangan pushback tayo kasi yung mga taga-prosecution, iba yung interview nila sa mainstream media, sa social media, ambush interview sa mga bayarang vlogger nila. pagdating sa House of Representatives, press con na naman sila. Kaya dapat, Attorney Powa, pushback tayo, pushback.
Sir, additional comment lang. Ang reply ulit ng House kasi doon sa House of Representatives, Duterte versus House of Representatives case ay overturned dictum lang naman.
I've already said my piece on that. No? So I think you should refer to it because obviously we disagree that it is obiter. Definitely, in fact, dalawang beses pa nga ni-reiterate yung guidelines Started from if you read the decision, the first 2 pages of the decision na may summation dun ng guidelines and then dun sa last portion, inulit-ulit yung guidelines. So, I think that is something for the court to consider na, no? But obviously, as I said, I respect Congressman Diokno. I have the utmost respect for him, to be honest, no? So, he has his position, I have my position, meaning the prosecution has their position, the defense has its position, so it's up to the court.
Sir, kung kang binabasa dun sa oral arguments,
Aba.
nag-inform ko ka, ano ba yun, kabisado ba sa...
I think it's personal preference. Nahihirapan po kasi ako pag nagbabasa ako because it's distracting for me. So, talaga naman pong kahit noon ganun po talaga ako. No? Hindi ako nagbabasa. At sa regular courts, hindi rin po talaga ako nagbabasa.
Attorney, what would be your preparations?
But sorry. I just have to kasi baka ma-misconstrue, no? It's really a personal preference. It doesn't mean that it's better na wala kang binabasa. No, I'm not saying I'm good kasi may binabasa. Wala akong binabasa or may binabasa ako. It's just personal preference. Each lawyer has his or her own style. As you can see, some lawyers kahit may binabasa, ang ganda naman ng delivery and very coherent. So, it's really irrelevant kung may binabasa o walang binabasa. It's just a matter of preference for each lawyer. Go ahead.
What would be your preparations or the events sa next week in regards to mga bagay na basta ako?
Well, right now, as I said, we're just shifting gears because I think after Director Matibag, we will proceed with Article 1. So now, of course, we're focusing on Article 1. Although we're prepared for it, syempre, as the trial goes, parating naman may fine-tuning yan here and there. So that's what we'll be focusing on.
What are your hopes for the upcoming decision on Monday on the motion of the prosecution to subpoena the
Siyempre po, kung ano man yung naging posisyon natin, sana we were able to justify it. We were able to show that, the issue on relevance, we discussed the issue on relevance, we discussed the issues on the various laws that prohibit certain disclosures. But whatever happens, we'll take it as it is, and we always submit ourselves to the wisdom of the court. And then also, kung hindi man natin magustuhan, there are always going to be legal remedies available.
kabilang sa legal remedies? Supreme Court.
Well, sir, it's too early to say. Wala pang decision. I don't want a clickbait soundbite, So I'm not saying anything right now. Those are all on the table, but there's nothing has been discussed. It's too premature, and plus, all of these things will have to be discussed with our client.
Mas simple majority na nga kailangan para
I think so. Pag motions, no, I believe so.
So what you're saying, attorney, there are legal remedies kung hindi man...
Again, sir, I've already mentioned. I don't want.
Ang problema ho kasi dito, kung sakaling pagbotohan, talo kagad tayo. Hindi na sigurado pero base sa ating nakikita, kahit magbilangan ho tayo dito, tagilid ho tayo. Kahit na ang pinaglalaban ng mga boboto para ika nga doon sa mga nung panahon na VP na si VP Sara, kung yun ang mga dokumentong ipapakuha, wala ho tayong problema. Kasi kasama talaga yun. Pero yung labas na doon sa pagiging VP niya tapos kukunin pa, doon lang naman tayo maalma. Ika nga, wag nyo lang i-bend ang law, wala tayong problema.
Want a clickbait? I'm sure everyone's asking for a soundbite, and I'm not going to give you that soundbite. Thank you. Thank you.
Magaling ho talaga tong si Atty. Michael Powa. So Luis, maraming salamat po sa pag-support sa page update. Mag-ingat po kayo lahat. Lahat Pilipinas.